Good evening and welcome to the TLC Unleashed Show Hollywood Vibes, Sports and Life with your host, Tracy Lynn. We are live in the studio today and we have two very special guests with us tonight. And we're excited to have you here tonight. Shane Sparks, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're excited. I know you've been busy with work, and so we actually finally got you to get here today in the studio. I know how crazy life is, so thank you. We also have a special guest, Maurice Webster, an actor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tracy. How you doing today?
Good.
Okay.
We know you guys are excited. We had a little milk and cookies before we started the show. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you guys that, but and we were just talking about doing a little dancing. Shane, it's such an honor to have you here. We talked a lot about you last week and your career, and now we finally get to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So we're excited that you're able to share your story with us and how your career started. So share with our viewers and listeners, please, how you became an Emmy-nominated choreographer, the best in the world.
Wow. Okay, look, it's two stories that I tell. The short one and the long one.
All right.
Which one do you want?
Well, we have an hour, so
Okay.
can we go? Let's go the long one.
Okay, I'll just go back, okay?
Okay.
When I was a young kid, I saw a movie called Breaking'. I was a dancer at the time that the movie came out, but we were just kind of messing around. We didn't take it serious because there was no reason to. It was just something fun as kids. We just danced. When the movie Breaking' came out, it inspired so many different people that I was around that we all were like, it went from talent shows and just having fun to, I want to be in the next Breaking'. I want to be a part of that world because it's real now. It just made it real. It wasn't just something we did on the streets. So after the movie Breaking' came and went, like we started putting together like crews and we started battling and doing stuff at school. And it just became like something that I didn't want to live without. But then high school started coming in. I started playing football. And football kind of took over. Then gymnastics took over. But on the weekends, we was always dancing.
Yeah.
So we would go take the weekends, we would battle, we would win money, we would do whatever we had to do. But dancing, after a while, we realized you couldn't make no money and you couldn't take it no further than that living in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
I love Cincinnati, Ohio, but when you live in a small town, you can't go nowhere with anything that you do until you move to the big city,
Sure.
where it's all, that's where they go. So we did a TV show, a dance show called Woodward Bomb Show. Woodward was a high school in Cincinnati that at the end of the year, they had this bomb show, like a talent show that everybody that was somebody was in, from singers to dancers to rappers to whatever. There was a group called the Fellas that was performing there, and they were singers. My group was called Cold Crush. Okay. So at the time, we were dancing, we killed the show. They were singing, they killed the show. So we met up after. We was like, you guys are so good. How would you like to join forces? Corny, but that's what happened. So we ended up joining groups and became a 5-man group. Some of the people that was we had a big group, but only 2 of us, me and Chris Tyler, went to be with this group called Cold Premier. So we took the Cold from Cold Crush and then the Premier because, every time we performed, it was like the first time you saw us.
Okay. And how old were you at this point?
I was probably about 16, 16 or 17, something like that. So it was like, it was Cold Premier, singing and dancing. So we taught them our dance moves. They taught us their vocals because we didn't sing. We was dancers. So 3 years later, our group is the coldest group that you ever want to see. They was comparing us to everybody. Like we had a KC in our group from Jodeci. How KC's soulful voice. Yeah. We had that dude. Then we had like a dude that had a strong falsetto, just the prettiest voice you ever want to hear. Then we had the pop singer that was Tony Robinson, who was like a Ralph Tresvant of New Edition. And he mimicked everything Ralph Tresvant did. Then you had me and Chris, who were like the dancers, but we had the finesse and the sexiness and the charisma of Bobby Brown. You feel me? So we mixed all that together and became Cold Premier. So you saw us perform. You was just like, from beginning to end, we hit 5-part harmony. We sang 5-part harmony before we performed. So people was like, and we had one of the guys, his name was James Watson. His daddy was an old school singer that was in the band. So we'd be rehearsing. He would show us 5-part harmony songs that they did back in the day. So we went from being just like this little corny pop group to R&B, hip hop, soulful, we was everything. But then when we got on stage, we murdered it because then the dances took over. So it was crazy. So taking that experience from his dad, then us dancing and then them singing, We flew to LA. Well, what we did was we was like, we need to make a video to send to LA because we want people in LA to see who we are. We can't just go there because we don't have the money for that.
Of course.
So a person, like, you can stop me anytime you want to because this
No,
story's crazy.
this is good. We want to hear all this.
So this guy named James Arsenal got a hold of our tape. It was a guy named Fresh. We'll put that in there. His name was Fresh in Cincinnati, who used to fly to LA and New York all the time. He flew to LA and he put our tape in the hands of a guy by the name of James Arsenal. James Arsenal saw the tape, went berserk, and was like, I have to meet. This is after hindsight. He's like, I have to see if these guys are that good in person.
Okay.
He flew to Cincinnati. We never had nobody fly from anywhere to come see us. We're in the living room of James Watson, his big old living room, sitting there in our little outfits or whatever. He walks in, and I remember it was snowing outside, and I remember he pulled up in a new car, but it was like, to us, we was like, oh my God, he got the new blah, blah, blah. But it was just a rental, but he pulled up in there. We was like, dang, it's a Thunderbird. It was a new Thunderbird at that time. We was like, damn. So he came in real quiet. He was like, okay, so let me see what y'all got. I just flew all the way here to see y'all. Cincinnati's cold. You don't want to come in the cold, but he came. So we was like, all right, so we put the song on. And we murdered right in his living room. And he didn't say nothing for a minute. We was all just looking around like, okay. And he was a foul. He used to say the most derogatory stuff sometimes, but all in fun. And we was like, so do you like it? Like, what's up? He was like, well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm sitting here being quiet, but in my mind and in my heart, I'm running around here butt naked screaming, I got the hottest group in the world. You know what I mean? But so we was like, thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
So basically, he went back to LA, set some stuff up, flew us to LA. We went there, we recorded a couple songs, came back. We was like, yeah. So there was a new record label called Giant Records that was coming out. Cassandra Mills was the president of it, looking for artists. They set up a meeting for us to see her at this club somewhere. I can't remember where we was at because we hadn't lived here yet. We went into the studio. It was a big old warehouse. We just killed it. She got up. She was like, y'all like 5 Bobby Browns. Everybody compared you to Bobby Brown. If you compare to Bobby Brown, you're dope because he's still, to me, one of the coldest artists ever to hit the stage. So we was like, yeah. So we got our contracts. We got $2,500 each, which is nothing.
That was big money.
But at that time, living in Cincinnati, you ain't had no money. We got $2,500 each cash. We had our little envelopes. We was like, yeah. And we signed a record deal. We did a movie called Class Act. That's when Kid and Play was popular.
Yeah.
They had a movie called Class Act. You could go on YouTube or wherever and Google it. You'll see us. Why she had to wear that body, baby. It was a song that we did. It was a dope song at the time. Sound like R. Kelly, because that's when R. Kelly was hot. And we did that song, and it just blew us up. Cincinnati, we was gods. The movie came out. We flew back to Cincinnati, sat in the movie theaters, watched the movie. Everybody was like, oh my God, that's you. So it was crazy. In Cincinnati, we was kings. Then all of a sudden, a month went by. Then a year went by. They was like, what's going on with your record deal? We was like, everything's good. They're just doing stuff. We didn't know what to say because we was getting calls like, don't trip, don't worry, everything is all good. But people on the inside and looking in on the outside was like, something ain't right. By this time, y'all should have had a record out. Y'all should be doing this. But something happened. I don't know. But there was a moment when we were trying to get the label to speed up. And we had our manager write a letter to Cassandra and tell her what we thought and what we was feeling. And it was kind of nasty. The minute she read that letter, it was the last time we heard from her. Oh, it was like done. We was like done. So we was like, what the heck just happened? So we was like, Tony was in LA. The rest of us was in LA. He was like, y'all need to get out here, dude. We got to save our deal. So I got in my Ford Escort at the time. Drove all 4 of us because Tony was already out here. We piled up in his car with luggage, had to get oil change and tune up and all this stuff. And we drove that Ford Escort all the way to Los Angeles, California. And I still, to this day, your mind, when your mind is focused, you could do anything that you want to do.
Absolutely.
And when I think about me driving anywhere right now, I wouldn't do it. But we were so determined. We got in that car and drove that 35 hours, however long it took, a day and a half. And we made it here. Texas, oh my God, if you ever drive through Texas, it's the longest part of the drive. And it's like a million degrees. It took longer to get through Texas than it did to get to Texas. That's how we felt.
Yeah.
When we finally got to LA, the next day we saw, we knew where Cassandra Mills was. We drove up to her. This is crazy. We drove up to her studio. She had a purple Jaguar at the time. She pulled, we were right here, we were like, oh, there she go. We were like, we was nervous, like, there she go. She pulled up. You gotta remember, this lady flew to LA. Yeah. Flew to Cincinnati, loved us. We was doing everything. She made us feel like our life was about to change.
Yeah.
And we hadn't seen her since. So she pulls up. We get out of the car. We're like, Cassandra, Cassandra. She looks, turns back around, push a button, garage door open. She pulls down, it shuts, and we never saw her again. We looked around. We was like, did that just happen? Like, that lady just, you know, it was crazy. But that was our first taste of how cold California can be. Yeah. And how when you're hot, you better take advantage of it. Because when you're not, it's like back to plan B. Or excuse me.
And no one prepares you for that as well.
No.
So you don't know what to do. You don't know how to react. So what did you guys do at that point?
Okay, so we had to regroup.
Okay.
We was like, we're not going back home until we get a deal. Mm-hmm. We got a new song. Actually, we had songs, but we were in the process of getting new songs. And it's funny how you meet people that tell you one thing that changes the direction of everything. Right. I met this guy's name was Tony. He was an artist too. Mm-hmm. And he lived in the apartments we were staying in. And he was like, why y'all trying to get new music? Y'all music is already tight. Like, why y'all trying to reinvent yourself? Just do what y'all got. And that just registered. We was like, I'm hip. We already got choreography. We just need to clean it up. We already have the songs, and we are who we are. No matter what songs we do, we are a group that people are going to love. So we set up a showcase, got another record deal. Mm-hmm. But check this out. I'm not saying no names because, you know. So.
All names.
Can't say no names.
No names, but names.
These people crazy. But somebody in the group wanted to take the deal without our manager. Without talking to us first.
Yeah.
The guy at the label told our manager, like, your group is crazy. They're trying to sign. They're trying to go behind your back and go take the deal and cut you out. Me as a person would never do that. I don't care what's going on. No. But there was somebody in the group that just felt like they didn't want him in it, and he just got us the deal. Dropped us again. So, long story short, I could tell you some really devious things that happened, but I don't want to get into that because it's just the past. But, so, after that, we was like, let's try to do it. We was living in North Hollywood. I said, I'm not going home until I make something of myself. Eventually, over 5 months, they all left. I stayed out here by myself. I got a job. I started teaching at Morelandis, which was New Millennium now, and I started making my own money. I got my own little place. I was paying $400 a month in a one bedroom. You can't find that nowhere now. But and eventually, you know, 2 of them were staying with me, and then I was like, yo, I got to get out of here, man. Like, this is too much. I got to get away from this negative energy.
Yeah.
So this Corey, Maurice, and Sam, they're from Cincinnati. They was out here doing their thing, rapping, singing, and you know, and performing and stuff like that. So I called them up. I was like, hey, guys, can I come stay with you for a month? Like 3 years later.
That's usually how it works,
No, it's crazy. So just to give you a time frame, like me and Maurice shared rooms, Corey and Sam shared rooms. That was when the big earthquake hit. The Northridge earthquake.
Northridge, 94.
Yeah, so that just to give you a time frame. So I was living with them, and I was about to go home after that. We literally was in the same room. He had his bed here. I had my bed here. And all I remember is, only thing I can compare it to is, picture if the devil picked you up in a little house, looked in, and was like, wow. Like, that's how we were flying around the room. We were just like, Race! I ended up in his bed. We were like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it was that crazy that we were flipping all over the room. And then after it all calmed down, you know, bull crap happened. Called my mother. She was like, I heard about it. I was like, Mom, come home, come home. She was like, yeah, get home. But I sucked it up and stayed. So a couple years later, so I started working. I started getting my name built. I started doing choreography for a lot of people. I did a few auditions, and when I learned that auditions aren't based on your talent, it's based on a look. It's based on image. It's based on what they're looking for that's going to help promote whatever they have. I lost my love for wanting to be a part of a world that judged me off of anything other than my talent. So I wanted to be the person that was either doing the choreography, doing the hiring, or doing the firing. So eventually I started building myself up as a choreographer at the dance studio. So people started coming through. I went from, now this is, I'm going to tell you another story too, just to go back a little bit. The reason I started teaching, because when I came to LA, there was no such thing as hip hop classes in Cincinnati. They had jazz, ballet, tap, they had everything, but no hip hop class. Me and Chris had came to LA before, and we learned about it. But it still wasn't in LA. We went back home and started a hip hop class. It probably lasted 3 months, but I'm going to tell you this. This is how crazy it was. We went home, started a hip hop class, and that class was so big. The lady had a dance studio upstairs, the dance studio downstairs. I mean, the upstairs and downstairs.
Nice.
Both the rooms were filled.
Yeah.
And the people that couldn't take it came to my house and danced in the garage because they wanted to take this class.
Yeah.
That's how crazy it got. And then we ended up coming back to LA, so we had to stop doing it. But so when I got to LA and we was taking and I was, you know, like dancing, I met this girl. She was like, you need to start teaching classes because this is where the money is because you're a great dancer. I was like, I don't want to teach class. I don't know what I want to do yet. So I go in there one day, and I go there every day for probably like a few months. I'm standing there, and I used to wear my hats like super low, and I'll just be sitting like this. Pants baggy as ever, 44 pants.
Wow.
44s.
Wow.
Sometimes. Or 40s. Nothing less than 40s.
Yeah.
Baggy, shirt baggy, just ready to just in it. This lady said, "Are you a dancer? You look like a dancer. Can you come in here and teach the class until the choreographer gets here?" I'm looking at her. I'm like, I don't really know how to teach like the way y'all teach. You know, I teach from sound effects. I teach from feel. So I went in there. I was like, all right, cool. I'll start teaching this class. So I go in there, and I'm teaching the class, but I'm teaching. Say, I need y'all to go here. Boom, cap, shoot, cap, boom, boom, cap, boom. What's the count to that? I don't count when I dance. That's like asking somebody when they sing to count the rhythms, to count their riffs. I dance off a feel. But I had to learn that when you're teaching somebody, when it's basic, you have to go from 1, 2, 3, and 4. They have to have something to stand on or something to go by because they don't have that feel yet.
Exactly.
So once I learned that, I was like, oh, okay. So I had to literally learn to count. But in that class, that's how I did it. So I probably taught for like 20 minutes. The teacher comes in. To this day, I don't know who this teacher was. I haven't seen him since. But he's like, dope. Thanks for teaching my class, dude. I really appreciate that. You know, my name is blah, blah, blah. Would you like to assist me from now on? I was like, dope. Literally, I assisted him one time, and he went out of town to do a job and never came back. So I took over his class. That's how it started. It's like weird how it all started. So me teaching these classes on like Tuesdays or whatever went from Tuesday to Monday and Wednesday. Then from Monday and Wednesday, and Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Because the classes were so crazy, everybody wanted to come take my class. I come from a world where the dance is so through the body and it's so much feel in it that people weren't getting that in LA. And what everybody needs to realize that LA takes from whatever is popping and glorify it. They don't, I ain't gonna say they don't create anything, but everything that I see, I was like, yeah, they was doing that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's called the blah, blah, blah. Oh, y'all just started doing that? Oh, what? How you know I do that so fast, Shane? Because it's old. Y'all are doing stuff we did 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So I just kind of lost track or whatever. Oh, so I'm teaching all these classes, and when I go into all my classes from 5 to 6 days a week, almost 6 days a week, they say, how would you like to have a percentage in the studio? And I was like, okay, so I can make more money. This is so I can make more money off of, the kids there because, So I was like, I don't know nothing about that, but sure, let's do something like that. That never, ever happened, but it kept me there for a long time. So Immature, which is called IMX after a while, was a group that used to come in there every day. And this is how the power of the mind is. I said, I'm going to dance for them one day, or I'm going to choreograph for them one day. And they were little. They used to come in there like, dancing. Everybody used to go crazy over them. So they came in one day and they held an audition for a guy named Quindon. Quindon was an artist. I can't remember where he was from, but could sing his butt off. I wish I could play videos for y'all. Y'all would trip. He was about 12 at the time, and his voice was just amazing, like amazing. So we'd be on stage, and me and my boy Derek, and we was dancing for him. Derek, y'all watch Wildin' Out? Okay, the DJ, DJ Direct. I was about to bring him too because he kept calling me like I want to go, but I was so late I couldn't even call him back to bring him up here. So, but he was dancing with me at that time. Okay. So me and him was like on the road touring doing that. But so everything was great, everything was good. So IMX ended up like loving me, falling in love with me. I ended up doing work for him, and then B2K. Dave Scott. I don't know if y'all know who Dave Scott is. Dave Scott's a choreographer who did the movie You Got Served With Me, which I'll talk to y'all later about. But so Dave Scott was the choreographer of all of it. So I met him that night because I had to go learn the choreography for the show. Okay. So me and Dave became like best of friends. So we toured, we did everything together. Like it was like super amazing. So so one day he says, I'm putting a group together. I'm calling them B2K. I'm looking for the third member. And so we drove around, went around. He was looking for blah, blah, blah. And then one day he came to me. He's like, okay, here's the group. He brought them to my class. And these little boys, if you know who B2K is, those little boys murder the stage. Yeah. Murder the stage. I saw him. I was like, what did I just watch? And I remember calling everybody. I said, look, there's about to be a group called B2K that if they get a record deal, they're going to take over the industry. They are everything you want in a boy band. Everything. And sure enough, he got them a deal. And sure enough, the video of the choreography that I saw them do came out, and it was pandemonium. I was on the road with them. It was it was ridiculous. So this is another chapter. So right before B2K really blew up, Chris Stokes comes to be director of You Got Served, and he ended up managing B2K. I'm doing a movie, and it's a dance movie. They didn't have a title of it yet, and I want you to be in it, and I want you to play this role. I was like, cool. I read the script. I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. So then B2K blew up. So when B2K blew up, that changed everything. So he was like, let's go back to the movie a year later. Now, I want you to just be the choreographer with Dave Scott. And then Robert Hoffman came in. So the role that I was going to play was the role that Marcus Houston played. So now the movie was about Marcus Houston and B2K was the stars. You feel me? Yeah. So that changed everything. So now they're the stars of the movie, which was amazing because they were so hot at the time.
Yeah.
So I got to choreograph a movie and dance with and train and teach some of the best dancers I've ever seen in my life. That's a moment in dance where it was like, if you were there, that probably was the best moment of your life as a dancer, because we had people from all over the world coming to be in this movie. We danced and learned. I can't even explain or express how amazing. And when you see the movie, that's nothing compared to how the rehearsals were.
Yeah, I bet.
And the energy, and you just saw people throwing stuff here, throwing stuff there. And I saw Dave Scott make up choreography on the spot that was just the coldest stuff I've ever seen in my life. He was like, yo, check this out. Like, you just made it up? I said, you just made it up? Like, it was amazing, man. That was an amazing moment. So that movie comes out, and I remember I called my daddy, and I hardly don't talk to my daddy that much, but, you know, we do talk. And I said, there's a movie that we're working on. Oh, real quick. So we're in a room with a round table trying to come up with a name. Okay. So we're like, oh, they come out all these corny names. I said, well, when we back in the day, when we used to battle, we used to say, You Got Served. Soon as I said that, Chris was like, that's the name of the movie. So people don't know, I came up with the name and the title for the movie You Got Served. Got no money for it though.
Bam.
Didn't get nothing for it. So, okay, so that movie comes out and just goes up. Okay, it changes everybody that was in that movie's life. Okay, so, but it was crazy because there was a 2-year period where I was like at my lowest because I felt like I did something amazing, but nothing happened to me after that. And I was calling Chris. I was like, Chris, what's going on? Like, dude, we just did this movie. I'm seeing Dave. I'm seeing all these people, on these shows promoting the movie. How come I'm not there? And I was mad at Dave for a minute, to be honest. I was with like Dave. I was calling him. And he was like, I was like, dude, how come you're not inviting me to this? I see all the dancers on there. I see you talking about the movie. They don't even know I'm the choreographer of it. He said, oh, my bad. I'll get you in on the next one. It never happened. But me being as naive as I was, I didn't realize that his publicist was booking these jobs for him. And when you pay your publicist, I'm not going to pay my publicist to help bring another choreographer in to get publicity from him. Of course. You feel me? Exactly. So now I get it. And I was looking at it from another point of view because I didn't understand. Now I get it. So I was mad at him for no reason. Like, he was taking care of his business and I wasn't. That's basically what it was. Didn't know at the time. Yeah, I didn't know. So now I get that. So then now I know what to do the next time, you know. So that whole 2 years went by, you know, we did a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but nothing major. And then one day I'm sitting with my manager and my agent. I was with Clear Talent at the time. And she said, there's this TV show called American Dance or something like that. They're looking for choreographers. I was like, for real? She's like, I'm going to submit you for it. I was like, dope. 2 weeks later, they said they want to meet you. This was Nigel Lithgow. Yep. So I'm like, cool. So I went down there, met Nigel. Hi, Shade. Then we talked for an hour. Best conversation ever. We was best friends after we left. Nothing happened after that. I was like, dang. I was like, I killed that audition. Like, I killed that meeting. But they had got Marty Kudelka. Okay, Marty Kudelka is Justin Timberlake's choreographer, if y'all don't know that. So Marty Kudelka's a beast. You know what I mean? So he went on a show. I don't remember how many episodes, but this is, okay, now, a hindsight type thing that people don't know about. We play volleyball every Saturday. Really? All the dancers. Okay. So anybody that was popular doing stuff, they was there. Everybody. So me and Marty was, when we walk up to the thing and we would look at each other, we were like, did you get it? Nope. Me either. Cool. Then we would play. Then it was that one day where my heart just died. Did you get it? He's like, yeah, dude, they called me back. I was like, oh, God. I was like, that's it. Like, everything is done now. It's done. So he went on and he did a couple episodes, and then they called me. It was like, we want you to come in and do an episode because either Marty couldn't do it or something. I can't remember what happened. And I went in there and murdered that show. It was like, it was so cold. It was, because my style, I ain't gonna say my style is better than anybody's. I just feel like my style is just raw. It's just from the heart. It's not like yours. Like you could watch a whole bunch of choreography and you'd be like, that's Shane's right there. And a lot of people, you'd be like, I don't know whose that is, but it looks like no. When you see my work, you see my energy, you're like, that's Shane. So when I got on that show, I went so old school on them. I put him in the black shirt, the black pants, the white suspenders, the Kango, the white gloves. Back in the day when we used to move and murdered them. So they wasn't ready for that. So I did the dog move when the girl, the guy's on the floor and the girl is like walking him. He's like moving on the floor. And they was just like, what is going on? Like I took them back and everything was just so old school but so relevant. Yeah. And they standing ovation. They was like, oh my God, he did da. I was on every episode after that. It was ridiculous.
How did you get through those times where you weren't, coming out on top and those other guys were getting the jobs?
First of all, you have to know that it's coming.
Yeah.
That's what I tell every choreographer. I tell this to anybody. You have to believe in that day that's sitting there waiting on you. If you don't believe in that day or that moment, you'll never make it because you'll give up.
That's right.
You 100% have to know. And once you know that, there's nothing that can stop you. Anything that happens that like sets you back, it's just a learning lesson for you in the future. And anything that ever happened to me that made me sad or cry or made me feel like giving up, I used that in everything once I made it. I applied it to what was going on. I knew, I just applied, especially the energy, because I went through that a lot even before I moved to LA, just so many letdowns. Trying to be a dancer in Cincinnati back when I was trying to do it, when there was no TV shows, there was no classes, there was nothing that could take a dancer to the next level ever. So me trying to do that, it was like, what are you doing? You need to go to the Marines. You need to get a real job. I worked at Toyota of Cincinnati. I drove that parts truck. I love that job, though. I loved it, though, because you could literally drive around and the time goes so fast. By the time you get back after delivering like 4 or 5 things, it's time to go home. I loved it, man. So, but I had to do those regular jobs, but I'm always going to work. I've been working since I was like 12. Like I've always made my own money. So, whatever. So I just applied all that to out here. I'm never going to stop doing what I do, and I got these gifts for something. And we get, as I go further, like some other stuff. But so basically, I started doing that show, and it was just amazing. It literally changed my life overnight. Like I was doing workshops, but my agent told me, she said, Shane, if I hired you for every job that you got called for, you would never stop working. Yeah, like literally, she said every day you would work. And those kids, those teachers, they wanted me out there because I wasn't only giving them dance, I was giving them future. I was giving them a belief. I was giving them something to hold on to, because it's still to this day when I'm with them, I can't just teach them choreography. I got to tell them what I am and who I am and what drives me. And if I can instill that into you as a dancer, the next time I see you, I guarantee you, because I hear this every day of my life from a person I work with, if I didn't meet you, I would have stopped. Or because I met you, or because I listened to what you say, or what I learned from you got me this job. And I can't tell you how many times I turned on the TV, I was like, oh my God, I taught her. I trained him. I mentored him. That person slept on my couch. I paid that person's rent. I gave her first job for years.
See how rewarding that is?
Yeah.
And you get to see them grow and develop and all of that, and, just blossom into this individual.
Exactly. And you have something to do with it. Like, there's a girl by the name of Jade. There's a TV show coming out called Step Up.
Okay.
Water over power. Something like, I forgot the slogan of it, but it's a Step Up based off the movie. It's a TV show called Step Up. And the girl Jade that's in it, she took my class a long time ago. But she came to me, and I'm watching her. I was like, what is possessing you to dance the way you dance? She said, I want to tell you something. She said, you were the first dancer, the first teacher that I danced from. You inspired me. I was like, and I couldn't even accept that, because I was like, what you doing is nothing that I could do. You are beyond ridiculous. Like, this girl, when you see this TV show, and just a backstory on her, 300? Remember the movie 300?
300, yeah.
Okay, remember the girl who played Jade in the movie. I think she was like she was a fighter or something, but I think her name was Jade in the movie. And Jade played Jade as a little girl in the movie, fighting the dude in 300, training her. Like, it was crazy. I was like, just another thing, that little girl is so special. It's not even funny. And I have a gift of knowing, like, I swear, like, oh God, I could just go into so many different things. I'm gonna try to control myself. You ever heard the song Fantasy by Earth, Wind & Fire? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. Have you ever really listened to the lyrics? You haven't.
I'm feeling like I need to listen deeper.
You haven't. Because if you heard the lyrics and paid attention to the lyrics, you would start glowing right now. Because what they're talking about is so strong and so powerful for the person that dreams. The song is called Fantasy. Mm-hmm. So it's talking about the people who fantasize. It's letting you know that there's a group of people who live the same dreams you live, and we're waiting for you. And when people are telling you you can't do it and you can't make it, there's a line where it says, look back at them and crack a smile and let them know you're on your way. Oh God, I'm about to cry. But you have to listen to what they're talking about. Every man has a place. Every man has a place in his heart. There's a space. Yeah. Well, the world can't take away his fantasies. Take a ride in the sky. Like, you have to really listen to what they're saying. They're telling you to remove yourself from the world, because there's a place for us that the world can't control. And once you know that, and once you believe that, whether it's real or not, once you believe that, there's nothing that somebody could say or do or anything that could touch what you feel and what you want. Ever. Like, so that's what drives me, because there's not a human on this earth that will ever take away what I believe. And that's why when I'm around people, I touch them, because I don't want anything from you. I'm trying to give what I have, because it's been given to me to give away. Mm-hmm. You have nothing I want. Literally, there's nothing a human being that could give to me that would change my life. They might inspire me off of what they do, but I don't want nothing from them. If they do something like, oh my God, that's so sick, you just did that. Hold on, how you do that? Yeah, but I don't want nothing from you. You feel me? If I see you do something that I like, I'll be like, that's sick. But I don't care. You know, I feel like I have everything that I want. I just got to keep working on it. So just to get back into the story. So then Randy Jackson comes up to me. And another backstory, there's a thing called Hip Hop International that I've been judging from day one. It's super big now, okay? But I was there when, I can't think of his name right now, with the guy who created it. We actually sat in a restaurant called Toast on Melrose. Mm-hmm. Shane, I got this concept. I do aerobics classes and athletic classes, and they travel and they compete. I want to do that for dance. Mm-hmm. I want to bring people from around the world and compete in dance. I was like, that's a great idea. You have any ideas what we can do? So I gave him a few things. He talked to a couple other choreographers. They gave him a few things, and then it just blew up to be so amazing. Like, it's probably changed the lives of so many dancers, that in the world of dance. Okay, so Hip Hop International is America's Best Dance Crew. Mm-hmm. TV, from a TV point of view. Yeah. So it evolved into that. So by me judging that all the time, I was at one of the events, and Randy Jackson comes up to me and, Shane Sparks. How does Randy Jackson know my name? Shane Sparks. I'm like, what? He's like, I got to talk to you about something. I was like, what? He's like, I got to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you later. So later on that day, he was like, the show got picked up, America's Best Dance Crew, and I want you to come in and basically audition to be one of the judges. It's like, what? I was already doing So You Think You Could Dance. So that was a big deal, but I was already on the biggest dance show in the world. So I was like, but America's Best Dance Crew was hip hop.
Of course.
100% hip hop. So I was like, so I went downtown, went somewhere in Hollywood, and went into this room, and basically they showed me some cheerleaders. I was like, why show me cheerleaders? But they was like, judge them. So I was like, blah, blah, blah. I can't remember what I said. It was like, all right, cool. We'll talk to you later. So a day went by, another day went by. My agent called me. They was like, they want you on the show. I was like, dope.
Nice.
So they was like looking for the girl. They had already had, what's his name? NSYNC. Can't think of his name right now. Come on, y'all. NSYNC dude. On. Not Justin Timberlake, the other guy.
Someone from Facebook, work with us.
You saying everybody but... Damn, Reese, what was his name? Whatever. It'll come to me. Y'all come to me. It'll come to you. But JC Shazaz. JC. Okay. So they were saying like JC's gonna be in there. And I still at first I was like, JC from NSYNC is gonna be judging a hip hop show. Really? Okay. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, Hollywood has a way of doing things that you think won't work, and then it works.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So they was looking for a girl. They was looking at Lorianne Gibson, so many different girls, and they said Little Mama that sings that song, My Lip Gloss Poppin', whatever. I didn't really know her too much, but I knew she was street, she was hip hop, New York, blah, blah, blah. So we all got together. So let me just tell you a little story about us three. JC, probably one of the smartest guys I've ever met.
Really?
Literally. And I said this to him probably every other show. I was like, how do you know so much? He was like, Shane, I literally like read all the time and I just like to know stuff. I mean, if a subject came up, he would know something about it that you would be just like, I never knew that. Like that just made my opinion about it totally different. Like super smart. So by him being that way, he analyzed things differently.
Yes.
So when he got on stage and looked at a dance routine, he looked at it from a different point of view. I'm looking at it like, oh, they hitting hard, this and that, or they just did the da-da-da. Oh, da-da-da. He's looking at it from he's analyzing everything. Da-da-da-da. I can't remember what he was saying, but I was looking at it like, that was cold. He was like, thank you. You know, but Little Mama, Little Mama was another one. Little Mama would get up there, and I love you, Little Mama. If you hear this, you know what's up. But you know what's up. She would say stuff that we would all be looking at each other like, what is she talking about? Like, it had nothing to do with nothing. And they would literally have to edit the show to modify what she would say. It was crazy. Yeah, I was like, oh, God. Because when you watch the show, you'd be like, oh, she sounded pretty good. I was like, but you didn't hear her live. Like, it didn't sound like that live. So the next season, by her doing that, it made them want to kind of dictate what we were going to say. That broke my heart because I don't like to go off of reading and I don't like to go off of what somebody tell me. I go off of feel with anything that I do. Just as a choreographer, the reason I am who I am and the way I do things the way I do them is because I could not dance for a whole year. But when I hear something that makes me feel it, I give you something amazing. Because I never learned from nobody. I didn't have YouTube. I learned from dancing with people, but I always felt music. Yeah. There's a song called Numbers by Kraftwerk.
Okay.
God damn it. Tour de France by Kraftwerk. Trans Europe Express. Oh God. You play any one of those songs, I swear I'm in another zone.
Who's playing that song right now?
Somebody's playing it?
Someone needs to play that right now.
Oh God.
If
y'all can,
anyone play that in the background.
Y'all can pull up Trans Europe Express.
Come on, let's just play it.
Trans Europe Express.
I want to know what it's like for Shane Sparks to get into that moment of that feeling.
Oh God. Type in Trans Europe Express. But
let's do it.
Those songs are if there was something that could create you, that song created every mechanism or every chromosome in my body. Those songs or that style of music. And it literally makes my body move. Turn it down. It does something to me, and it's always been like that since day one. So me saying that, I'm just saying that I don't dance based off of what's the new dance.
Of course.
It has nothing to do with me. I don't really like to use the famous dances that are out because I like to do what I feel. Is this it right here?
Are you going to show us what you feel when you hear it?
I don't know. But see, I'm so genuine. I'm either going to sit here and just chill, or I'm going to move. But
I love it. I love it.
You gotta turn the volume up.
Maurice, you've been seeing this for a while, too. You know this guy.
Can you hear that? Listen to that shit. Watch when that kid come in. The tones. Yeah. What you don't understand, the tone of this song it transforms you. It's like it puts you in a trance. All I picture the dude in black leather on the street, just moving like, just groove into this. And then the good dudes are coming out from the side to join him, and they all just isolating moves like. Look at how it makes your neck move. You don't know no song makes you move like.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna stop now. But you hear how it just bleeds when the hi hat is. 100%.
Yes.
Tell me how ahead of their time Kraftwerk was. Till this day, there's no music that moves your body the way those kids did it back, and they're all taking from these guys right now, whether you believe it or not, from the hi-hats. There's other songs I could play from the kick, the snare, the rhythm, like Sierra. Sierra came out. The reason Sierra was so big, not because of her talent, she's already talented, but the rhythm she used in her music, boom, like that whole rhythm that they used, that was Sierra. And now she woke the dancers up. She woke the dance world up when she came out. That's why Missy, her producer is Timberland. If you ask Timberland who moved him, what music moved him, I guarantee you he'll tell you Kraftwerk. I'm watching this TV show about what's the dude that was with Dr. Dre. Oh God. Y'all have to watch this. It's on Netflix. There's a part in there where I swear me and him connected. He's on TV. He don't even know I'm watching it. But we connected so fucking hard because he was saying, because Dr. Dre was one of the ones who did this type of music back. Dr. Dre, Dr. Records. If I play some of him, he was 100% in this world, and that's what inspired me to dance, that music. So there's a part when he's sitting in his office and he's talking, he was like, well, there's music that just inspired me. And that song right there came on. Oh my God. I just, it's certain things that happen to me in my life, and it's certain things that connect people that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And I don't even know Dr. Dre. But that moment when that came on and the look on his face when it started playing, I was like, dude, I know you. Me and you are probably best friends in another world. He don't even know it. So basically, going back to So You Think You Could Dance, one of the things that made me stand out was because of that. I wasn't doing a lyrical number, contemporary number that everybody does, and it's the same moves, just in a different order. I was getting on there, drop to the floor, pop your back, give me more, pop and rock, and just going from gritty battling. And I was a battler. That's all we did was battle. So when I choreograph from a battling point of view. So when you see my shows, if you watch them, I did Matrix. I had the girl come out with the black jacket on, the makeup on, the glasses, and she came out like, woo, and made everybody stop, and then she, woo, and then everybody raised up on, I had these little things, and they floated up in the air, then she, shh, and turned everybody, boom, dropped down, and went into choreography, and sounded, oh my God, like, oh God, oh. The world has no idea, they have no idea what they lost when I went through my court situation. They have no idea how one person in my life took away something that was, I was changing the world. People have no idea. People only, they saw the TV shows, but they didn't see what was coming. They don't know what I was working on in the process. That stopped. And there's still not nobody else out there. And I can say this because I know a lot of them, but it could be somebody out there, but I don't know you, that loved the dance world as much as I did, who wanted to promote it and make it more than what it was. I said something on ABDC, and every time I go somewhere, people watch the show, they were like, dude, when you said this, it changed everything. I said, I want to see dancers get treated and paid like actors and athletes. I said, when that day come, I've done my job. And when dancers hear that, they like, I don't know what you was thinking at that time, but that's exactly right, because we work harder, but we make less. We train more than any other sport or talent on earth.
So why do you think it is that you make less?
We're disposable. They don't care about something that doesn't make money. Okay. Dancing don't make money. Dancing is, you can have a dance show, but it makes a little bit of money for whatever it's worth. But you can't. You could put a record out, and the record could sell $10 million in a weekend.
Okay.
Then they go on tour, sell more. Then they sell merchandise. As a dancer, I'm not saying you can't do it, but nobody has done it yet.
Yeah.
They tried to do it, but it just didn't work. Nobody believes in dance enough to say, yo, let's turn this into something where they're artists. And they tried to. So You Think You Could Dance at the tours, and they did pretty good, but not enough people came out to support it. So whenever they try to do it, not enough people support it, so they're not going to keep putting money into it. You see, So You Think You Could Dance, every year we think that show is going to stop. It's the last season. Then it goes, but people love it. America's Best Dance Crew is gone. Best show ever on TV for dancers. Why it's gone, we have no idea. But they have bullcrap on for 13 seasons and still going. And the artists, the actors are making millions per episode. 50,000, 500,000 for doing this, for doing that. A dancer get on there. If they don't win, they made nothing. But they rehearsed every day. They performed every day. They had millions of fans. But when it's over with, the best they go get is workshops. They might get a commercial.
How many hours of training, and plus the nutrition, plus the sleep, plus the everything?
Exactly.
It's like an athlete's world.
Exactly. It's so crazy, and people have no idea how hard it is for us. And then nothing is guaranteed, because if there's two dancers in a room, and the person's got a job that they trying to hire somebody, if they say I only got $500 to do it, that person that don't care is going to take that.
Yep.
So the standards are low. You can't say, yo, I got $1,000 to pay everybody, and just somebody's like, I'll do it for $5.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, there's no standard there. So there's people that do it for $50. There's people that do it for $100, $150, $200. You know what I mean? So how can you put a price or a value on something that people would just, just do anything to make a dollar? And that just goes back to how hard it is out there as a dancer, because you're struggling. And that $150 that you get that day pays your phone bill.
Yeah, you're just...
You feel me? And you thinking like, how am I going to pay this bill? My phone about to go off. Then all of a sudden you do a job and you pay that. Or you make $500 for shooting a video. That's my car note, or that's half my rent, or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have to survive. So they'd rather do a job doing something they love than to go do something 9 to 5 and barely make enough money and not knowing if they're going to be able to pay their bills. It's crazy. But those are the things that I was trying to change.
Your dedication to this industry and what you've done and created over the years is absolutely phenomenal, Shane. And I know that everybody recognizes you for your talent and your heart and your passion, most of all. And that's what we, love and admire about you. Because I've watched you back home from Canada, and I knew who you were. I knew who you were. I watched those shows, and I saw your choreography. But again, the passion and just meeting you recently was, such a great honor for me, because I saw what you pieced together, but I saw the legacy that you're leaving. And that's what means a lot to most of us. So it's great for us to be able to hear your story so that you can share that. Because you've done so many phenomenal things, and you have a heart, and I want everyone to go and listen to that song now.
Yes.
Because I'm going home to listen to that. Tell us what you're doing now, Shane. We've only got a few minutes left. I mean, I could talk to you for days.
I know, I could talk for days, man.
Tell us what you're doing, where we can find you now, how we can keep supporting your endless career that's going to keep going.
I'm on Instagram. I am Shane Sparks. It's my Instagram name. And that's usually, I got Facebook and stuff like that too, but I'm on Instagram all the time.
Okay.
I just opened up a production studio. It is called The Spot, and I'm working with my boy EJ.
Okay.
And it's basically an artist development company. So you can go in, if you're a singer, you can sing, dance, produce music, blah, blah, blah. And I just left there this morning. I'm working with a lot of Instagram famous people, all these like dancer Instagram girls, and I'm doing all these videos. So I'm trying to build my Instagram because I'm not a social media person. So and
it's hard to build, yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, it's crazy. And I'm working on a show that nobody's ever really done for the dancers, and it's called Battle to the Top.
Okay.
And basically, it's taking choreography from online, putting it in a countdown, and basically counting it down from 1 to 13. You know what I mean? Who's the hottest? And then bringing choreographers and dancers and producers and videographers that deal with the dance world, interviewing them. It's almost like a setting like this. You know what I mean? And basically letting people see where they come from and what they do and how they got to where they are.
Nice.
And they get to visually see these dancers, their choreography, and not have to search all over for it. Get the 10 best that week and then put them on, and so there's a few other things that I'm doing, but I hate to talk about stuff too early because I've done interviews and it'd be crazy. I'm like, oh God, wait for this, and then nothing happens. So but just know that I'm young in my heart. I'm healthy. I still love dance so much, and I have so many things that I want to do and show the world, and just I ain't done yet.
Oh no, you're just scratching the surface. Maurice knows. He's like, yeah, I've seen this guy. You've known this guy for a while.
Y'all didn't even talk to Maurice.
I know, Maurice.
No worries.
Maurice is an actor, and we can find you, Maurice Webster, on social media as well.
Yes, under Russo, Rueso. I used to be an artist, then gave up music to do acting. So yeah, Rueso. I'm on Facebook. The Real Maurice Webster. And Instagram, I'm everywhere. So everywhere you see Shane at, I'm
What's the show you did?
Maurice,
OJ movie?
Oh yeah,
OJ.
I was on The People vs. O.J. Simpson. I was on 2 episodes, and the last thing I did was Life in Pieces on CBS. I filmed that on the 13th. So we're just gonna keep going. Just never give up. Whatever.
And he's
you
in
do.
all my skits. Every skit that I do,
Phenomenal.
he's
whatever
in.
you do, just never give up.
On my
regardless.
Instagram.
So we're going to find you guys on social media. Shane and Maurice Webster, Shane Sparks. Such an honor having you on today.
Thank you.
And you guys make sure that you continue to follow Shane and your career. We're going to get back for part 2 because I know there's you got to write a book. There's movies, like everything we need. So we're also going to thank our sponsor today, SWAT Fuel. So www.swatfuel.com. I'm going to give Maurice and Shane some today to try out. Amazing. He was going to try it before the show, but we didn't want them running circles around here.
I'll never stop talking.
Thanks so much for being here today,
of course,
Shane and Maurice.
Okay.
And you can find us every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the TLC Unleashed Show, Hollywood Vibes, Sports, and Life. We'll see you next week. Until then, stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Bye, guys.
Hey.